Okay, this is the way I do a 45, which is evolved after the zombies came out, which I love zombies. I'm a Walking Dead fan, and now I'm trying to look into X's Nation, which looks pretty cool. Keep in mind, I have already literally cleaned out the mines with dogs in this section. There's a mine here, there's a mine here, and a mine here. 3 mines basically. And you want to try to avoid your hellfires from getting those mines. Many illegal businesses in Hong Kong were also involved. Police arrested 19 suspected triad members. Protest leaders allege police colluded with their opponents or refused to intervene during the fighting. They deny this. In response, the protesters have postponed talks with the government to try to find a solution to the crisis. They say the government isn't giving them enough protection, which they deny. Chief Executive Lu strongly condemned the violence but warned it was likely to continue until the protesters left the streets. The activists continue to surround a number of government buildings, including the chief executive's office, and there continues to be scuffles with rival groups. The demonstrators want full democracy and reject Beijing's plan to vet candidates to be the next chief executive. So at the moment it remains very tense in Hong Kong with no solution in sight. Back to you, Arthel.
Okay, David Piper, thank you very much for that report there in Thailand.
But now the clock is ticking to stop Iran from possibly having the ability to build a nuclear bomb. This is more than 350 members of Congress demand Iran also stop building those intercontinental missiles and supporting terrorism. You know, many are worried the White House will settle for a deal. They can still let Iran build a bomb when they want to. So, is any deal a good deal? That next. And this dangerous man, the leader of the Islamic terrorist group Boko Haram, while he's reportedly alive and well, despite the claims of the Nigerian government.
Hands were made for talking, feet tiptoeing. Better things than the pain, stiffness, and joint damage of moderate to severe rheumatoid arthritis. Before you and your rheumatologist decide on a biologic, ask if Xeljanz is right for you. Xeljanz tofacitinib is a small pill, not an injection or infusion, for adults with moderate to severe RA for whom methotrexate did not work well. Xeljanz can relieve RA symptoms and help.
As soon as you got these puppy going, you could afford to go in with your banshees and take out structures that you want to take out.
If you have any infection, unless okay with your doctor. Tears in the stomach or intestines, low blood cell count.
Notice I'm trying to hit on purpose just items that
before you start and while taking Xeljanz, and routinely check certain liver tests. Tell your doctor if you've been to a region where fungal infections are common, and if you have had TB, hepatitis B or C, or are prone to infections. Tell your doctor about all the medicines you take. 1 pill twice daily. Xeljanz can reduce RA pain.
Notice there's no damage to the banshees except very minimal.
Ask about Xeljanz.
And at this point, you could go ahead and end the attack on this side. Going to this side now. Going to repair real fast the air. Again, lag is very, very slow, so I apologize for that. But that's why I don't do any base fighting, let alone plat fighting.
Welcome to Healthy You. I'm
when I'm
Have you ever wondered what the fermentation
I hate this
process
program,
means to your
Healthy
food
You.
and what the possible health and beauty benefits?
No damage.
The author
Zero
of
damage.
Your Foods to Your Kitchen will join me today to share a whole new take.
That's
on
very
living
cool.
foods. Plus, a few months ago, we did a segment on genetically modified foods. In fact, we were told we were probably the first show to actually do a piece on GMOs, as they're also known. The response was pretty unbelievable, both in the positive and the negative. So today we're doing this. But first, these days there are many fitness trends whose goals are to rev us up, giving us that extra jolt of energy. But for some people, especially the elderly, doing exercise that helps calm the body is actually much better. So recently I decided to see why so many people practice the ancient Chinese tradition of Tai Chi with instructor Jonathan Angelili. At the sports
I'm
center,
listening to Fox News, but they have this program, Lady Program
what kind of
now,
benefits can you get from doing Tai Chi?
which I guess is
Actually,
okay
there's a lot.
while I do this.
Increases your flexibility, increases strength, especially in the elderly. Balance, it can prevent pain for people who have arthritis.
I want to
Things
just
like that.
use
Yeah, it's
3
shown to
banshees.
increase bone density for
Again,
women that
trying
have
to
osteopenia,
reduce
so
the
it
amount
really
of
has a
lag,
lot of benefits.
I also hear that it helps your
and
balance.
hopefully
Yeah.
I don't
Falls in the elderly.
Absolutely. Yeah.
end up
It's not very
freezing
trying.
or
You don't have
DCing,
to sweat. It's not a
as
no
is very
pain, no
normal.
gain type thing.
I'm so glad you said that. It's exactly the opposite of that. And this is what makes it very different than other kinds of exercise. You actually want to feel good while you move. You want to be aware and relaxed.
I'm going to watch this for a second because there's a lot of last stand defenders coming in. But that's the reason I bring in these hovers, to give me cover against last stand defenders, and also give me cover on the Reapers, which are fast and deadly.
Inviting people to do 5 or 10 minutes before they go to bed at night. It calms your nervous system down, and it's been proven to deepen sleep and to lengthen sleep in people.
Well, that's kind of funny because normally you don't want to exercise for free.
No,
because
yeah.
it ups your heart rate.
Right, but this is the opposite. So instead of the sympathetic nervous system state, which is what people
So we're going to go ahead and target.
Which is what most exercise, the no pain, no gain philosophy falls
Wow.
into. This is parasympathetic, which is
That was
rest,
not good.
relaxation.
My
Your body
banshees
does
went
this
too
every night
far
when you go
up,
to sleep, but you can do it,
which is
and
not
you can
cool.
augment it through this kind of conscious, relaxed movement, breathing.
And that's all due to lag. There's a delay, so I've got to literally try to time
Yeah,
my
kick off those cool
my
things.
attacks,
Do it.
keeping the lag in mind.
Before we go into class,
Yeah,
can you show me a couple moves so I don't look like really ridiculous?
of course, yeah.
Okay.
So Tai Chi.
By the way,
is
that
healing
instructor on
practice.
TV is
And our hands are
homosexual.
very sensitive, lots of neurons.
Okay.
So we want to warm up our hands. So we're just going to rub our hands. It's called the fire palm,
Okay.
just like that. And then we can even use our imagination in this practice. Once they
Now,
get
while
warm,
the
we
hellfires are
step
firing,
apart and we imagine we're holding
I'm gonna come in
energy, right?
and take out the
When you inhale,
structures
you stretch that ball
that
out,
are
and when you exhale,
really
you compress it. Yeah. Inhale. Exhale. And you feel your hands.
not
energize.
very,
And then you can even, if you can, open your mouth.
I feel that.
Yeah. Isn't that cool? That's your chi. That's just the
come
word for
on,
life
banshees,
force.
lag, do something.
Right. And Tai is supreme. Supreme life force.
Show me some animals.
Oh, cool. Yeah. So,
And the
here's
banshees are not
way.
moving.
Okay.
Mhm.
So we're gonna inhale and let the arms float
Trying to
up.
move the freaking
And then
banshees.
exhale, we bend the knees as we go down. Yeah. Inhale, float up. It's almost like there's clouds under the arms, and then exhale, dropping down.
Okay. That's it?
It's simple, right? That's why we say it's accessible. Anyone
Keeping
can
an
do
eye
it.
on the
You can bring
Reapers,
it.
of course,
Okay, you want all right,
because
fair
them
walk.
suckers
Uh-oh.
will make you pay.
We'll go right from beginner to advanced.
Barefoot
Alright?
walk. Okay, barefoot walk.
Okay, so you're going to hold a ball of
I'm
energy
going for
right
that
here,
silo.
right? And then you're going to flip it across like that.
And then I'm going to
So
bring
from
out my
here,
banshees.
Yeah.
Sorry, wrong hand.
Flip it across and step to the side.
Kill this yellow.
Yeah. Then standing up.
If I was at home, I'd be able to maneuver this a lot better than what I'm maneuvering it now.
Ball of energy between your hands. Exhale. Yeah,
This
good.
tactic is very, very good because
you're-
you've got you're
you're more
baiting.
relaxed, would you say, or
Oops,
what would you
you're
say about that?
baiting
It focuses me.
the
Yeah, you become
the enemy
aware of your body,
Right.
while you're
Yeah.
doing your thing in the
And this
meanwhile
will
with the
help balance
banshees.
coordination for sure.
And as you can see, the banshees have
Okay,
zero
now I can
damage.
advance, okay?
All right. she's
Now we'll
ready.
go to the other end.
First thing we're going to do is we're going to be about shoulder width. Understand? I'm going to face here for a moment. Shoulder width. Bend the knees slightly. Okay. And then we open our mouth, right? And then we imagine like we're kind of floating in water. So we want to have a little more of like beautiful. Exactly.
I can't stand this homosexual anymore. I'm turning him off. That was stupid. Okay. So as you can see, this is extremely effective. And if you have good internet and know what you're doing, you'll end up having zero. Oops, not wrong. You'll end up having zero losses. Which again, as I've always said to everybody, The worst thing in this game literally is the time. Not even the game itself. The game itself is manageable. It's the amount of time it takes to play and upgrade and do all the stupid crap they want you to do. I'll be a little lazy on this one, since I'm pretty sure that I could do what I need to do with only 4 Hellfires over here.
Mr. Trujillo, report to the showroom. Trujillo, to the showroom, please.
I know that I put my air all the way over here, so I'm safe to do this without looking at it. Because as you know, what happened? Did I lose? I lost. No? Yeah! For some reason, I lost 2 Hellfires, which means I brought them in too close. I was eating crap. That's what happens when you eat crap. Now I'm going to be forced to have to do one side. Sorry guys. I lost 2 Hellfires for not watching and trying to save time. I believe I did. I lost 2 Hellfires. Oh, they stayed selected when I clicked on the air, which is I think that is a sucky crap from Kixeye. They don't unselect. Even though you select one particular unit, it still memorizes the last unit that you have, and it'll literally go ahead and screw you up, because you'll drag in the previous plat and forget that you had it. Now I'm going to clean this up, and the reason I'm going to clean this up from experience, see that? Last defenders, because of splash, may come out and mess up your Hellfires. So I'd rather clean this up real fast. Have it nice and clean and no issues. And then I'll be comfortable with using the Hellfires. Can't believe I lost 2 Hellfires. I always do the same mistake. I'll always do the same thing, which is basically I forget and that I have another plat selected. I think that's good enough. I'll position one here, and just in case, one here, and then I'll go ahead and start targeting the walls this way. And once I've got all the Hellfires in line, arcing their missiles, always hit that space bar, because sometimes you drag these puppies along. And once I have all those missiles arcing, I'll go ahead and take out first the non-anti-aerial defenses. That way I know that my missiles are still actively going. Once you see the arc all across, then you could come in confidently with your air and start picking out the units. Oh, something's wrong. It's fucking lag again. Something's wrong. I see very little health on my air. Something went amiss there. So I'll come back in. Yeah, something hit me. Probably one of the yellows. But it gives you an idea.